So, Oriyomi Hamzat, investigative journalist, a mediator, a man that has shown and proven over time how bold a journalist should be. Well, he met with Mohbad's father, and after 48 hours, he said he was not continuing anymore. Said he was going to hands up. He was going to hands off the whole case. But people persisted and they spoke to him, and eventually he agreed and he acknowledged all that has been told to him. And he told us why he could not pursue justice for Mohbad. Well, all of those things have been sorted out. It has been trashed. And the man in question, Africa TVCU, I think that's what it's called, he has come out to say his own part, and the whole legal action that he allegedly, let's use that word allegedly now, threatened Mohbad's father, and many other complex, complicated, narratives that have been put out there. Well, as it is, as it stands, is right in the studio of Oriyomi Hamzat to express, to say, to tell his own side of the story. All for justice for Mohbad. And you'll also be listening, and for those who do not understand the language, I'm going to do my best to translate. You'll also be hearing some very explosive, and these are things that we've been saying on this platform, that there are certain people who are part of this justice for Mohbad, but they are in it for personal vendetta. They are in need for some other reasons. Apart from making money, they want to use this justice as a stone to kill two birds. They want to shut certain people down. There are people who they believe did not do what they want, didn't give them what they want, and we've been repeating it several times, and we've done analysis on it. In fact, actress Lizzie Anjorin said certain things that I could relate to. People lambasted her. Why? Because it is more about popularity and who is famous and who has money. That's how people roll. So some people lambasted her and said, oh, she's this. I'm not saying she's a saint herself, but she knows. She has never said she's a saint. She knows the dirt, the dirty, the wicked, evil things that they do in that industry, the movie industry, alongside generally entertainment industry, connecting to politicians and also substance abuse and prostitution. They know all these things. So there are a lot of terrible things, wicked things. So she said a lot of things. And, well, without further ado, let us listen to Oriyomi Hamzat and Africa TV CEO. Before we proceed, like and share. Tap on the thanks button to encourage this channel to do more. Subscribe and turn on the notification bell if you have not done so. Let's get right into it.
Ìyàwó Timothy Wunmi nínú ẹbí Timothy nínú ẹbí àwọn Timothy kọ́ ni ó tẹ́ wọn lọ́rùn tán. Gbogbo wa táwọn ẹbí Timothy Wunmi sí ìyàwó Timothy ikọ́ ni ọjọ́ tẹ́ra wọn lọ́rùn tán nígbà tọ́kọ rẹ̀ wà láyé. Kí ló dé tí wọ́n gbé àwọn Timothy gẹ̀gẹ̀ nígbà ọkọ rẹ̀ kú? Kí ló dé Timothy tí ìyàwó Timothy gbé àwọn ẹbí ọkọ rẹ̀ gẹ̀gẹ̀ nígbà tọ́kọ rẹ̀ kú tí wọ́n wá jọ fi ohùn ṣọ̀kan? Ìyá Timothy kò wọ aṣọ, tẹ́ bá notice show yẹn, lọ wo show yẹn. Tí tá fi gba ìdájọ́ Timothy, ìhòhò ni ìyá Timothy wà. Tá bá débẹ̀ ní ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ máa sọ sára tí wọ́n pè màmá ẹ wọṣọ. Ìhòhò ni ìyá Timothy wà. Kò wọṣọ. Bí ìyá ṣe ń sọ, bàbá ń sọ, wọ́n jọ jókòó báyìí tá jọ ń wò wọ́n. Àwọn ẹ̀gbọ́n, everybody, ohun ẹyọ kan ṣoṣo ni gbogbo wọn sọ. Àwọn sáà fẹ́ justice. Àwọn sáà fẹ́ justice. Inú jáde bí adé.
Àdéhùn tá ní àwọn nǹkan tá kọ sínú agreement pé bàbá ẹ má lọ kọrin, bàbá ẹ má ti lọ studio, bàbá ẹ má ṣe fídíò, bàbá ẹ má ti ju fídíò orin síta. Àwọn nǹkan tí èmi lè sọ pé kò yé bàbá nìyẹn, tó dẹ̀ jẹ́ pé bàbá dẹ̀ ti ń ṣe, ó dẹ̀ wà nínú ìwé tá kọ tí bàbá dẹ̀ ti sọ pé òun ò ní ṣerú nǹkan bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn. Bẹ́ẹ̀ bàbá ti ṣe, mo lè ka bí ẹ̀mẹ́fà. So ìgbà tí bàbá dẹ̀ kọ lẹ́tà pé òun ò ṣe mọ́, mo láti sọ fún bàbá pé ẹ jẹ́ pàkíyèsí sí àwọn nǹkan tẹ́ tí ń ṣe tó yẹ kẹ́ ṣe. Tí ò bá yé yín, ẹ lọ bèrè lọ́wọ́ lọ́ọ̀yà so that ẹ ní máa ṣọwọ́ nǹkan yẹn. Yín ò ń ṣe threatening. Ìlú tèmi ti wá, America, UK, Canada, Belgium, Malta tíyàn bá ní don't breach the agreement, you are breaching the agreement, ìyẹn ò ń ṣe threatening. Kò sínú message yẹn pé bàbá if you do this I will sue you, there is no such thing. Kò sí nǹkan tó jọ pé bàbá if you continue this I will deal with you. Kò sí nǹkan tó jọ pé bàbá I will fight you.
Ìbùkún ni tí mo fẹ́ gbà ń bẹ̀ ẹ mọ̀ gbọ́ ìbùkún ni tí mo fẹ́ gbà ń bẹ̀ nítorí ti yín náà ní bọ́dà bí kọ́rọ̀ mi ò yé yín ẹ rò pé mo ní nǹkan kan ní interest a máa ja ìdá justice for Mohbad lọ ẹjẹ́ àgbàgbé legal minister sign ẹjẹ́ máa já lọ ẹ ṣe wọ́n bá ṣe wù yín ẹ̀yin tẹ̀ máa ṣiṣẹ́ yín lọ iṣẹ́ tí èsì pé ẹ fẹ́ gbowó ń bẹ̀ ṣe wá di wàhálà báyìí
ṣẹ́rí
àwọn ẹ máa gbọ́ ìlú ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ fi ń rò pé ẹ fẹ́ gbowó ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ fi ń gbé nǹkan míì jáde pé royalty kan ni ẹ̀kíní kan ni kìnì kan ni mi ìmọ̀ yín rí mi ìbá yín di àìdárí mi ìrá ìdá yín rí nínú ayé pé kí èèyàn ti ẹ̀pàdé yẹn kan ní abọ́wọ́ ẹni báyìí bí yóò ṣe nǹkan báyìí mi ìrírí o tẹ́ bá dé ọ̀dọ̀ mi tẹ́ bá sọ pé ẹ̀ ń ṣe dáadáa tí ìbá rẹ́ni tó ti já yín pé kò ṣe dáadáa o yín gbà pé ṣe dáadáa ni tẹ́ bá dọ́dọ̀ mi sì tẹ́ sọ pé èèyàn burúkú ni yín o tí ìrẹ́ni tó já yín pé èèyàn burúkú ni o yín gbà pé èèyàn burúkú náà ni tẹ́ bá lèèyàn dáadáa ni ó dìgbà tẹ́ bá ṣàìdá sí mi ṣẹ́rí gbogbo lọ́yà ni ẹ̀kíní kan ni application to the society we find ourselves no matter jù gbogbo tẹ́lẹ̀ sọ yẹn kò wá applicable sí Nàìjíríà àwọn èèyàn bí pé ẹni ọmọ ẹ ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ kú ṣe di pàǹtọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ bọ̀ wé wọn fẹ́ mọrú ìwé tẹ́ tọwọ́ bọ̀ ẹ̀rẹ̀ dúró fẹ́ ní ìkọ́mọ̀bà sísọ ní ìkọ́ tó kọ́kọ́ dá wà láàlẹ́ ni pé àwọn ọmọ tí wọn ò ní journalistic experience àwọn ọmọ tó yẹ pé àwọn náà jáde wọ́n kẹ̀ sáré nàkiri sí bàbá yẹn lẹ́nu bàbá ẹni tó wà bereaved tó ń sunkún ọmọ ẹ̀ lọ́wọ́ tí inú ẹ̀ ń bàjẹ́ òun náà kàn sọ oríṣiríṣi nǹkan ibi tí wàhálà ti kọ́kọ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ tí bàbá yẹn ti kọ́kọ́ ní problem nígbà tó ní ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ kú nígbà tó yẹ káwọn èèyàn pity bàbá yẹn wọn pity ẹ̀ nítorí ọ̀rọ̀ oríṣiríṣi tí bàbá yẹn ẹni tó rọ̀ bá bá ọ̀gbọ̀n mọ́ náà end like that mo sọ fún manager wípé which agreement ní sọ wọn ni wọ́n máa sọ̀rọ̀ ní olóhùn mọ̀ kankan pé ó dàbí pé ẹni yẹn ló rẹ̀ fún wọn tó bá wọn gba lọ́ọ̀yà tí manager mi sọ nìyẹn o wọ́n wá sọ pé táwọn bá dé court àwọn ṣàlàyé fún yín tẹ́ bá ti fún àwọn ní feedback ẹgbẹ́ ààrẹ báwọn ṣe later manager mi sọ pé òun pè yín pé àwọn jọ sọ̀rọ̀
dáadáa
fine èmi sáré pé wọn wá èmi ti gbàgbé pé wọn wá nìyẹn àwọn náà tó láwọn wá àwọn náà dẹ̀ láwọn wá ẹni ẹ̀gún bá gún lẹ́sẹ̀ ní ṣe lákàlákà ta lábẹ́rọ wọn ṣe tán nìyẹn láàárọ̀ ọjọ́ ẹ̀ mo ṣe ń débi iṣẹ́ ni manager mi sọ pé bàbá Mohbad wà ráńdò ibi táwọn náà jókòó sí nìyí kí ni wọ́n fẹ́ mo dẹ̀ sọ pé kéèsì ti wà court mi ò lè gbé lórí rédíò but tábàrí tẹ́fẹ́ sọ tí ò jẹ mọ́ ní tó ti wà court mo lè grant yín ní interview mo lè a lè sọ àdéjọ́ sọ ìwọ̀n tá a sọ yẹ because tí ó interest tèmi tèmi sọ lọ́jọ́ ẹ̀ ni pé mama Mohbad ti jáde before that time pé àwọn ọlọ́pàá ti release òkú ọmọ àwọn o wọ́n ní káwọn lọ sí o pé baba Mohbad ní òun ò ṣe tán láti sí o pé òun ò tí ì gbà o ìyẹn ló wá pín tèmi pé kí ló tẹ́ ẹni sọ báyìí ibi ká sọ̀rọ̀ kan lọ yánú tí wọ́n fi sọ sórí pé oṣù tó tẹ̀lé tí Mohbad kú oṣù tó tẹ̀lé gan-an Mohbad ló ń fẹ́ ṣe wedding fáwọn àti ìyá rẹ̀ padà káwọn padà ìyẹn ti ẹ̀dùn mi púpọ̀ pé ọmọ tó lè ronú pé ìyá àti bàbá tó ti lọ lọ́tọ̀ọ̀tọ̀ kó ń bring wọn back pé ìyẹn dá o so èmi tẹ̀ tí ń rò pé fine tó wáyé pé a nífẹ̀ẹ́ ọmọ yẹn tá a bá gba justice fún tán ó yẹ ká make sure pé tó fẹ́ ṣe tí ò lè ṣe tó fi kúrò láyé yẹn ká make sure pé a ṣe ìyẹn làwọn ti ẹ̀fẹ́ ti settle tiwa so by and large wọ́n tẹ̀ sọ̀rọ̀ wọn lọ kò sí pé bóyá nínú ọ̀rọ̀ yìí nínú interview yẹn gan àsọ̀rọ̀ yìí nínú interview tán ṣe later mo bi wọ́n léèrè wọ́n ní ọ̀rọ̀ lọ́ọ̀yà kan ò ṣe lọ́ọ̀yà kan báwọn láwọn òlú lọ́ọ̀yà nǹkan mọ́ ẹ fáwọn ẹ sọ̀rọ̀ lórí yẹn kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ tí lọ́ọ̀yà fẹ́ ń lò tọ́rọ̀ fi rújú tẹ́ láwọn òlú mọ́ ẹ sọ̀rọ̀ lórí yẹn so náà mú bọ̀ so ẹ̀yin yẹn wá lóòótọ́ lórí Yọmí lòun ò ṣe mọ́ ìdí tí mo fi ní ìṣe mọ́ ìgbà tí mo fẹ́ parí sí mo ti ní mo tún fẹ́ scroll by máa sọ ó ń ṣe Africa television wọn threaten me personally wọn kọ lẹ́tà sí wọn àdẹ̀ pè mí àdẹ̀ ní kankan bọ́ tí wọ́n jẹ́ sọ kí nìkan fún yín o ó dùn mí ó dàbí pé ẹsẹ̀ mi ẹ má bínú ẹsẹ̀ mi báwo ṣe sọ pé èèyàn tírẹ́tì mi ni mo fẹ́ ní ìṣe mọ́ ṣé ẹ ti gbàgbé Oríyọmí tẹ̀ sọ ni ẹgbọ́n sẹ́yìn tó bẹ̀rẹ̀ láti tírẹ́tì tèmi ni.
mi ò máa gbára yín so mi ò lè sọ̀rọ̀ sí.
àwọn òbí mo bá tiẹ̀ yọ̀ lẹ́gàn kú tó ẹlẹ́gbọ̀n jà lórí ẹ̀tọ́ ẹ̀ lè tírẹ́tì mi you can't even letter lawyer 1 million ò lè tírẹ́tì Oríyọmí it cannot stop me.
Amen.
Once I know orí òdodo ni mo wà pé mò ń jà fún òdodo me I don't look back. The threatening ti pọ̀ mo ti di bí normal thing màá wá sọ pé mi ṣe mọ́ nítorí threatening màá pè wọ́n ní pé kí ló tẹ̀ threatening mi kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ wọ́n rà wípé bá ẹ stop ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ jájọ jàjà ayé fi yẹn lẹ̀ jájọ á sì lọ́ mọ̀ já lọ tí lọ́ọ̀yà fi láwọn ò ṣe mọ́ bàbá Mohbad wọ́n sọ fún mi o but mi nífẹ̀ẹ́ mọ́ tún ọ̀rọ̀ tán sọ wọ́n sàdákọ̀ 25 million kan.
ẹ jẹ́ ìṣàlàyé ṣe rí nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ní pé bàbá Mohbad ti ń lo lọ́ọ̀yà yìí ọ̀rẹ́ bàbá Mohbad ní lọ́ọ̀yà yìí.
bẹ́ẹ̀ ni wọ́n láwọn àti Mohbad àwọn bá kan lé ẹ̀.
wọ́n ti mọra tẹ́lẹ̀.
bẹ́ẹ̀ ni.
so ọ̀rẹ́ fẹ́ gbèjà ọ̀rẹ́ ń lọ̀rọ̀ wọn bet lọ́ọ̀yà yẹn kẹ̀dẹ̀rẹ́ ń láti sanwó àwọn lọ́ọ̀yà mẹ́rin náà ń ṣiṣẹ́ pọ̀ ẹnìkan náà lọ́ọ̀yà mẹ́rin ni bàbá Mohbad mọ̀ náà ẹni tí bàbá Mohbad mọ̀ yẹn òun ló sọ pé òun máa gbèjà bàbá Mohbad lọ́rọ̀ yìí kò wá sówó lọ́wọ́ bàbá Mohbad Mr. Lọ́bọ̀ lówó tó máa fún bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ́ọ̀yà mọ̀ pé òun máa ṣiṣẹ́ òun máa rówó down the road pé at least owó máa wá ìgbà tá a dẹ̀ wá kàn mí ta wọ inú relationship yìí a lo lọ́ọ̀yà o lọ́ọ̀yà yẹn ló dúró fún àméjò torí nǹkan tá a ṣe bíi marriage ni a lo lọ́ọ̀yà kánà lo lọ́ọ̀yà sì ni wọ́n ní àwọn ti gbé sáàni wá wọ́n ti intimidate bàbá oníbàbà a lo lọ́ọ̀yà
bàbá Mohbad
òun ló ṣe gbogbo ẹ̀
òun náà ló sílẹ̀
òun gangan ló tún wá fi àdéhùn yẹn sí pé kí bàbá Mohbad má máa bọ́ ta sọ̀rọ̀
anyhow
òun lọ́ọ̀yà bàbá Mohbad òun ló sọ pé kí wọ́n fi sínú agreement pé kí wọ́n protect bàbá kí bàbá má lọ máa kọrin.
so lọ́ọ̀yà bàbá Mohbad gangan ló ṣe ìwé
wà láìtọ́láì òun ló ṣe.
ẹ bá ti sọ yẹn fáwa pé kèsì ẹ̀yin lẹ gbé lọ́ọ̀yà wá.
wọ́n ṣàgbé lọ́ọ̀yà wá so ibi tọrọ percentage owó ti wọnú ẹ̀ ní pé bàbá olówó tó máa sọ fún lọ́ọ̀yà àgbékalẹ̀ tiwa ní pé a máa ṣe foundation tó máa ran gbogbo Nàìjà lọ́wọ́ bàbá Mohbad wà ní gbogbo Nàìjà ta fẹ́ ràn lọ́wọ́ àwọn ní first family Mohbad ní the first one so lọ́ọ̀yà dẹ̀ wò pé okay since tẹ fẹ́ ṣe foundation òun máa dúró fún foundation náà bó ṣe dúró fún bàbá Mohbad wà nínú trustee of the foundation orúkọ wọn wà nú ẹ̀ so lọ́ọ̀yà yẹn ń gbèjà bàbá Mohbad ni kò ń ṣe àwa an African television ti kúrò nínú picture ó ti di foundation àti bàbá Mohbad ó kọ̀ jẹ́ pé idea wá láti African television ni so lọ́ọ̀yà yẹn ló kọ gbogbo ẹ̀ òun ló ní ká fi condition báyìí sí owó lọ́ọ̀yà ló wá dàbẹ́ pé àwọn kan fẹ́ máa fi ṣe àtẹjúbọ̀ ìtorí pé kí ni owó yẹn pọ̀ bẹ̀tẹ̀ owó yẹn ò ń ṣe pé ìtorí pé o jẹ́ lọ́ọ̀yà owó yẹn ni pé fún gbogbo ọdún tó máa represent foundation o bí ẹni tó máa defend foundation tó máa represent justice for Mohbad tó bá mú ọ̀kan jáde lẹ́yìn pé òun ló ṣe nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ lọ́ọ̀yà máa bẹ́ síbẹ̀ tẹ́lòmíì bá ní wọ́n abuse òun wọ́n búlẹ̀ òun níbì kan lọ́ọ̀yà yẹn máa bọ́ síbẹ̀ so owó yẹn ó dàbẹ̀ kó tóbi but nǹkan tá a fẹ́ máa sọ fún monthly ni kò ń ṣe pé gbà wọ́n gbówó kalẹ̀ fún members gbogbo tá a ti ná owó African television láti ná so far àgbówó lẹ́wọ̀ ẹnìkan rí ní GoFundMe account.
ẹ kí lẹ náwó sí ẹ̀yìn náwó kí lẹ náwó.
àwọn nǹkan tá a ti ṣèbówó mo fi débi lẹ́yìn.
owó mọ́tò.
owó mọ́tò ṣe ìrẹ́ fún mi.
mi náà máa wọ mọ́tò.
ṣe ìrẹ́ fún mi.
gbàtẹ́ mi náà ṣe tí mo ṣe.
ẹ dúró ná
ọmọ mọ́tò káàkiri
ta ló dá owó mọ́tò tá a fi débi. so nǹkan tí mo sọ ni pé àwọn owó tá a wà ná owó wa ni but àwọn nǹkan tí foundation fẹ́ ṣe foundation mo mọ̀ pé ní foundation àwọn tó ní foundation wọ́n mọ bí foundation ṣe máa raise owó ẹ̀ so àwọn owó foundation ló máa fi ṣe gbogbo nǹkan tó fẹ́ ṣe ibi tó bá ti need help àwa help irú àti bẹ̀rẹ̀ àti dálẹ̀ but àwa gbé kalẹ̀ fún àwọn foundation àwọn ni wọ́n á ní tó.
lẹ́yìn bàbá Mohbad àwọn olóṣèlú àwọn foundation.
àwa náà wọn different people àwọn lawyers àwọn engineers doctors
mo gbọ́ nípa bàbá Fẹ́mi Fálànà pé wọ́n handle matter yìí, wọ́n wà ní matter yìí.
Nǹkan tèmi mọ̀ nípa bàbá Fálànà rúmọ̀ náà ni mi ò mọ rúmọ̀ ní pé wọ́n ti jáwọ́ nù ẹ̀ mi ò mọ̀ bóyá òótọ́ ni mi ò rí press conference mo kàn ń rí lórí social media lórí platform.
Ìgbà tí bàbá Fẹ́mi Fálànà wọlé ibi fún justice fún Mohbad ni.
Rúmọ̀ tèmi gbọ́ rúmọ̀ ni.
àsìlò kí rúmọ̀ tó wọlé ni mò ń sọ.
Rúmọ̀ yẹn náà ni pé Wunmi gba lọ́ọ̀yà ó gba bàbá Fálànà ìyàwó wọn ló wá represent ṣé mo pé nígbà tí kinní yìí bẹ̀rẹ̀ it was emotional sentiment kinní kan báyìí so rúmọ̀ táwa gbọ́ ní pé Wunmi ló gba bàbá fún Alọ́ba family.
Okay.
Now ìgbà tá a dẹ̀ máa wọnú ọ̀rọ̀ la rí pé Alọ́ba ìyẹn bàbá ó ní family tiẹ̀ lọ́tọ̀ Wunmi ní bàbá ní lọ́ọ̀yà tiẹ̀ lọ́tọ̀ Wunmi ní tiẹ̀ lọ́tọ̀ àwọn báyìí ní tiwọn lọ́tọ̀ so ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn ò tí ì yé mi àfi tí n bá bàbá Fálànà sọ ẹ̀yin lẹ lè béèrè lọ́wọ́ pé.
ọ̀rọ̀ yóò yé yín bí ó ṣe yé mi nígbà tá a bẹ̀rẹ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ because wọ́n ti dá méjì láti inú ilé ṣé ẹ fi pé wọ́n ti dá méjì láti inú ilé.
Of course naturally bẹ̀tẹ̀ bá wo family tá à ń sọ̀rọ̀ wọn báyìí wọ́n ní issues so ó ṣeé ṣe pé bóyá èmi ò fẹ́ lo lọ́ọ̀yà tiẹ̀ ìwọ gbọ́dọ̀ lọ́ọ̀yà tèmi so ọ̀wọ́n náà máa dáhùn question.
African television pẹ̀lú ìgbìyànjú yín yìí ẹni tó bá mọ kílẹ̀ máa jà fún ẹ̀tọ́ ọmọnìyàn wọ́n mọ̀ wípé òwò tí ó jẹ́ pọ́lọ̀ ní mọ́ san fún èèyàn ni wọ́n máa ń dáyàn lẹ́bi èèyàn máa ń gbọ́rọ̀ oríṣiríṣi òfin tó bá rẹ́dì yóò máa ṣe lọ́dún nítorí pọ́lọ̀ ọ̀nà máa pín ìta ní ẹ̀bá tí ń ṣe pẹ̀lú inú mímọ́ àtọwọ́ mímọ́. African television can you do without this thing kẹ́ẹ̀dì sí jáde kìíní ìpápátá kẹ́ẹ̀dì máa ṣe ìlọ ìwé yìí.
Of course mo ti bá àwọn board member foundation sọ̀rọ̀ wọ́n ní ẹni bá yorùbá yẹn ẹni bá fẹ́ ti wá.
ẹ sọ kákòwé fún
àwọn
olówó
ìwé
wà lẹ́ o.
no nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ nísìnyí ni pé executive ti gbà pé tí bàbá bá fẹ́ bá wa ṣe pọ̀ àgbà bàbá àbá wọn ṣe tí bàbá dẹ̀ lọ́wọ́n fẹ́ bá wa ṣe òun ṣe force àwa yìí máa ṣe justice for Mohbad àdèmà help àwọn Naija tó ń wà ní situation Mohbad àmà máa bá a lọ ìyẹn no stopping good.
jáde ká sọ pé ìwé yìí ó exist ni.
Yes.
Bí bàbá Mohbad náà ṣe tó bá fẹ́ kí ìyàwó àdè máa bá justice for Mohbad.
Yes, of course, yes.
ó sì gbogbo ayé rẹ ti sọ yìí.
Of course.
ẹ bá mi sọ kó mọ́dà pé mo kàn sí bọ́ọ̀lù lẹ́nu.
tí Mr. Alọ́ba Joseph Alọ́ba tó bá lóun ò fẹ́ bá wa ṣe mọ́ lọ́rọ̀ foundation a lè fọ́ọ̀sì wọn títí wọn là ń rò tá a fi fẹ́ ràn wọ́n lọ́wọ́ bá dẹ̀ ṣe fẹ́ ràn wọ́n lọ́wọ́ àwọn ẹlòmíì náà lè ràn wọ́n lọ́wọ́ so naturally speaking you can force a horse to the river but you can't force it to drink tí nǹkan tá a fẹ́ ṣe tán ẹlòmíì bá fi pé wọ́n lè ṣe ju bá a ṣe fẹ́ ṣe lọ kò sí wàhálà ń bẹ̀ bẹ̀tà wáyé máa ṣe wọn bá tọ́lọ̀ ń kọ́ wa bọ́lọ̀ ń ṣe kọ́ wa agbára tọ́lọ̀ ń bá fún wa a fi ṣe wọn bá ta lè ṣe so that's just the simple truth.
níbi tó dé dúró yìí ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ yẹn ti gbóyún wọ́n ti pè é lórúkọ tẹ́ẹ̀jẹ́ wọ́n ti ṣe gbogbo oríṣiríṣi báwo ló ṣe wá pè pé àárín tí mò ń ṣe fọ́lọ́hún ṣe wá di pé mò ń gborúkọ báyìí náà ṣe báyìí báwo ló ṣe pè.
well gbogbo èébú yẹn tí n bá sọ pé kò dùn mí irọ́ ni mò ń pa tí n bá ní kò àwọn ẹlòmíì ti bú àwọn ọmọ mi wọ́n ti bú ọmọ wọn pé ọmọ wọn àkọ́bí ọmọ wọn máa kú ibi tí wọ́n burú dé àwọn eléèké èbú but ọlọ́run ló wá mọ̀ ibi tọ́lọ́run ti mọ̀ pé èrò ọkàn mi ó mọ́ èrò ọkàn wọn tó wà ní foundation mo fẹ́ dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ wọn foundation members àwọn tó wà ní foundation but I just love you guys mo fẹ́ dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín mo fẹ́ dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ MC Jerry Lucky nìbàdàn Mama Ese gbogbo ẹ̀kẹ́ wa ní foundation ẹ̀ mọ̀ra yín mi ò fẹ́ máa porúkọ tán so but àwọn eléèké èbú nǹkan mo fẹ́ sọ fún yín ni pé there is a God on the throne ẹ̀yin onírọ́ ẹ̀ ń pè mí ní orúkọ tí ò ń ṣe tèmi ọlọ́run ló máa dájọ́ èmi kọ́ mo máa dájọ́.
So let us begin analysis and translation for our international audience. According to Oriyomi Hamzat, like I said, he is an investigative journalist, a mediator, And like I said, he has proven over time, he has dealt with cases that are much huge. I mean, cases where politicians could have RIP'd him or done some terrible things to him. Threatened, money has been given to him, but he said, no, I'm going to pull this through. And he did pull it through. Now, he said the reason why DNA is requested is because suspicion has been raised. And there is this talk out there that Mohbad met Wunmi in the Malian house. And Wunmi had been with Naira Marley, Sam Larry, whatever Larry, and the rest of the Larry, Malian, whatever group of people there. So there is a possibility that she probably was so nice, transforming maybe Sam Larry's life, Naira Marley's life, or whoever's life out there before Mohbad. Somehow, probably they felt that Mohbad was more nicer. And Mohbad is not here with us today. He would have thrown more light to this. But luckily, for those who might be skeptical, he dropped a song back then where he tagged Wunmi as Transformer. And unfortunately, there is a lady called Shekpeteri. If you know, you know. Shekpeteri is called Queen Mother. I don't know Queen Mother of who, of what, or whatever. She has been in support. And of course, Gist Lover, the blog that has lost glory. Not that it's exceptional anyway, of course. And Tonto DK. And unfortunately, again, Wunmi's mom, they've been in support of Wunmi, and they do not want DNA to go through. They said this is not the justice. But according to Oriyomi Hamzat, he's saying the reason why this is connected to justice is for us to find motive behind it. And of course, since the suspicion is there, why don't we go through it and make sure that we come out? After all, what's the big deal? If truly you are the child for him. So DNA is not a big deal. It's not about money. Please avail the boy. Let us do the swab, and we all will be there, recorded. There is not going to be any foul play. It's going to be done in the US. Thank God that we have those in the US who are also interested in this. I've read comments. People have dropped a lot of, they've given us a price list of DNA in the US, paternity test in the US. Now, it went further to say that he does not really understand why Wunmi or Mohbad's mom and Mohbad's father have different lawyers. This actually shows and proves that there is more to what the eyes can see, isn't it? For them to all have different lawyers, it means that there is fire on the mountain, and that fire must be brought down to the valley, and that is where justice will begin. He said if Femi Falana, senior advocate, I think is the wife of Femi Falana, is the one in charge of this case. And we're also hearing that she has hands up from this case when she realized that it is not about justice for Mohbad anymore. It is now about Wunmi seeking for protection, seeking for ways of covering up, seeking for ways to protect herself. And I don't think she will be able to go through this. Like, no, my reputation is at stake. Although these cases are done, I mean, these are cases that they often will want to take on and carry it through. They are lawyers, that's what they do. But it is so sensitive, and I don't think she'll want to go through it. If you have been on this channel, you probably must have heard when I said that Wunmi has refused, coming from a reliable source, and you also heard from the source that Wunmi refused DNA, asking Mohbad's father to first go and do DNA. I don't understand this. Like, I'm really trying to understand it. How can you tell Mohbad's father to go ahead to make the DNA test? I'm thinking that DNA is, paternity test is a comparison test, isn't it? It is a comparison test. It is not a test that one person goes to do it and that's it. You're not going to check your blood for, or to take body fluid for maybe some health issues that you don't need to compare. So telling is a lawyer to tell Mohbad's lawyer to go to it means go F yourself. That's what it means. Because it doesn't make sense. Why? Because certain people, like Oriyomi Hamzat said, inserted themselves into this justice for Mohbad for personal vendetta. Unfortunately, the veil of Gist Lover has been, broken into pieces. I mean, torn apart. And there is nowhere to hide than to struggle and find a way to change the narrative. Obviously, maybe Gist Lover will be thinking like, oh, next year there's going to be another story. I'm going to drop it, testing the microphone or a low tweet or whatever. Now, let's move on. So, according to Larry Omodia, African TV CEO, he said that Wunmi has been accused of having an affair out there, and this is what brought about the DNA, the request for DNA. And he also observed that Mohbad's father was also lambasted, bullied, and things have been said about him that he felt was not right. And he decided to come into this. He wants us to understand that Mohbad's lawyer, who also double as Mohbad's father's friend and Mohbad's friend, being that Mohbad's father and Mohbad are carpenters and they had done some job for this lawyer. But is this lawyer really doing it for free, or is doing it in the hope to get paid in the future? Like, as this case progresses, money will definitely come out. This seems to be what it is according to this man. This is what he's saying, that it is not actually free, but it is going to be, it's not pro bono. No, it's going to be, all right, I'm going to begin this case. At the end of it, I'm sure that money, big time, will be paid. I'll get my money. And this money will definitely come, according to Mr. Larry, from, the charity, the programs and whatever. In fact, they say they even have board trustees. I mean, that they've already created a board, created trustees are there, and that the lawyer was going to get some percentage from what we heard, like some 5%. The TV CEO, this is going to get this. He claimed that he's also spending money, like the money he paid for transportation, that he has put money into this. Not like he has really put money, but he's saying that his own personal, that no one has paid him for what he's doing and that he needs to be paid later in the future. So they came up with this idea, like, let us create what will generate money at the end of the day. It will be beneficial to us. It will be beneficial to you too, Mohbad's father. And the man felt like, well, I think it's okay. Apart from seeking for justice, let there be something also that will continually bring in money for the memory of my son, and also maybe for himself as a father. Why not? Well, as it is, he said that Mohbad's father's lawyer was one that requested that their agreement be put to pen. Pen be put to paper. Like, it was the lawyer, not him, coming up with that idea. And if after a while they agreed, that it took them, I think, about 2 weeks or thereabout. I think about 2 weeks or 2 months for them to agree. And when they concluded, Mohbad's father signed. And if he did sign, why is he going out there to talk that terms and conditions on what they should do and not do? Mohbad's father was actually not following through. He went addressing media, speaking to those who he shouldn't speak to. But what I find uncomfortable is Mohbad's what's it called? Mr. Omodia, Larry Omodia, not taking that role of a media person. If he was the one putting out content with Mr. Aloba, Mohbad's father, asking questions that should be asked and questions, that people want to ask, if he was the one handling it, it would have been better. We will not be talking about this. He would be functioning, but he wasn't functioning. So it appeared to people that he was only interested in this for the financial part of it, nothing more. He wasn't ready, wasn't working, wasn't doing nothing. That is why people felt like, this man, this your GoFundMe / charity / whatever, it's all a scam. You're all in it for money. And like I said, people lambasted Mohbad's father also. They said, oh, you are trying to use your son's RIP whilst we are seeking for justice. You are trying to gain from it. These are the allegations that has been put out there against Mr. Aloba. Well, now about the threat SMS that Mohbad father allegedly claimed that Mr. Larry, African TV CEO, sent. He said that he did not threaten him. But Oriyomi Hamzat had already said that legal threat and all of that. Well, he said he said no, not at all. But I'm glad that everyone is right on the right spot. It's quite unfortunate. If you know you don't have the full capacity to go on a journey, do not go on that journey. You have to think this through. Somehow it seems Mr. African TV CEO has to hands off, although the legal binding between them states that should either of them want to part off, dissolve the contract, the so-called package that they all have, they should give each other some 2 months, 3 months, and within those 2 months, you cannot speak to the press, you cannot do this, you cannot do that. Now, Oriyomi Hamzat, as a mediator, has stepped into it saying, look, can we just scrap all of this, whatever that you guys signed, so that we can seek for justice? And Mr. Larry also said that he had spoken to Mohbad's mom. Mohbad's mom has given them some confidence to an extent, but not really like how Mohbad's father came into it. But now everything has torn apart. And I'm glad that Oriyomi Hamzat has stepped into this one. At least we'll be able to get clarity. We'll be able to move forward on this justice for Mohbad. And maybe certain people might want to maybe kind of tell Mohbad's mom not to be involved, not to speak to Oriyomi Hamzat, or not to say her own side of the story or whatever. Although she doesn't really have much that she wants to really say. She's not going to really say much from my own thought, from what I believe. After all, she is not there when it all happened. It's the people, the major people who have questions to be asked and answers to give is Wunmi, Adura, Mohbad's younger brother, Darusha, Mohbad's uncle. Yeah. And we also want to hear from Prime Boy. Prime Boy knows some deep things that needs to come to light. And we want to hear. We want to hear everything. He should not be afraid. He should say it as it is. This could be his lifesaver. This could be his lifesaver. And also, we're also hearing some very complex, complicated things, such as there's a possibility that even Prime Boy also wire Wunmi, that she also shared that transformer in the direction of Prime Boy. We also heard this, that is why Mohbad dislike him. This, like I said, are all allegations. We don't really know what it is. We don't really know what is what in this whole matter until more light is shed. But I'm glad that those who came into it to disrupt, those who came into it for some other reasons, those who came into it not for justice, those who came into it for personal vendetta, they have been exposed. We've done a lot of work on this platform to expose. We put it all out there. And I'm glad that you guys are relating. I read comments. 99% of the comments shows that people are really interested and they want justice. Even those that are from South Africa, those that are from North Africa, those that are from East Africa, those that are from Central Africa, those that are from West Africa, and those that are from the Caribbean. Those that are from the Caribbean, everywhere. I read comments and I look at the analytics. I see and I realize that there are a lot of people who actually want justice for this young man that passed away. Like I've always prayed, may we not RIP and then begin to shine. Let us shine when we are alive and live till our old age. It's so sad, but it has happened. It has happened. That's why we that were on earth must do the needful. Press, fight to get justice. So guys, what do you think about this one? Drop your comment, like, and share. See you in the next update.